Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family. In today's video, we'll be talking about Paris Saint-Germain's potential big January transfer window, at least compared to the expectations we had in the summer, at least, or, throughout August, September, and October. Reports definitely have changed. Obviously, it could be because of desperation, how bad PSG are, but it could also mean that PSG are bad and PSG know that they have to do something in this January transfer window. But as the thumbnail and by the title, what we're going to be proved in this January transfer window by the reports and by what PSG potentially do is that this summer was like a half failure. João Neves, incredible signing. Pacho, great signing. Stefanov, good signing. Due is a futuristic signing, but did we need to spend that 60 million? Did we need to spend the 60 million on another development? I know we want to pick up all the talents. I know that Due can turn out to be a great player in the future. I mean, he's only 18, so he'll probably have a very long career here at Paris Saint-Germain. And I will, look back in this and be like, oh, how could I say that? But for me, it's more about the context. We knew how difficult this season was going to be without a player like Kylian Mbappe, just strictly goal-scoring wise, and we didn't replace him. What's going to happen now in January is we're going to fix the problems we made in the summer. So for everyone that said, oh, the summer was a 9, the summer was a 10, it was a great summer transfer window, no, it wasn't. Even Campos knows that. The issue is Lucha a bit. So what PSG are looking for is a right back. No, they're not looking for a right back. My bad. They're looking for a left back. Obviously, we're looking at Bradley Loco, the guy from the Brazilian league and so on. We didn't get anyone in the summer. Now, potentially, we'll look for someone in the January transfer window. Second up was the right-footed centre-back, where obviously we're following Gertruida the entire summer. That failed. Then we tried for Thomas Araujo towards the end. And, Benfica didn't want to sell that late in the window, especially after all the João Neves stuff. So those are the two positions we'll be going back for in the January transfer window. A competition for Bradley Barcola is also sought after, something that we remember from the summer. PSG were linked with Kvara, with Nico, with Lookman, with a lot of wingers because it was clear by the reports, by everything, that's what PSG wanted. And obviously then is the number 9 position. The number 9 position is a special position. Why? Because in the summer, obviously Kvaratskhelia was linked with us, who can play as a false 9 in Luis Enrique's system, and the other player was Julian Alvarez. These two were Lucha's preferences. He wanted Kvara first, Alvarez second. Campos failed to get both. Kvara obviously stayed at Napoli, even though he agreed terms to join Paris Saint-Germain. Campos couldn't find a potential price tag with De Laurentiis, knowing how tough he is as a negotiator. And the second one, obviously, Alvarez opted to join Atletico Madrid. Then Campos tried to push for Osimhen and slightly for Gyökeres towards the end, but Lucha obviously didn't want Osimhen because of his profile and his off the field drama and so on. Like, he has a personality, and Lucha, as we know, he's a bitch. He doesn't want a personality in the locker room. And now in the January transfer window, we've seen the reports about Campos potentially wanting to push for Gyökeres, but Lucha being against it. Why? Because he feels if Gyökeres comes for like 90 million, similarly to Kolo, that will affect his performances at PSG. What have we become? What have we become? Look, this is just the new transfer market. I mean, Gyökeres a couple of years ago would have gone for like 50 M maximum. Now it's different. That's just how the transfer market is. And we have to accept it. We need to pay big to get the best players in the world. Campos obviously knows he made them. I mean, he wanted to get a striker. Obviously, he failed with Alvarez and Kvaratskhelia, but tried to get Osimhen towards the end. He tries to make up for his failure, but then Lucha said, no, I'm vetoing this. We're not going to do this. So now we're going to go back in the January transfer window. Campos is going to try and get a left back, a right-footed centre-back, and a potential left-winger competition for Bradley Barcola. We're obviously seeing the Ryan Cherky link, so maybe a backup and a competition for Ousmane Dembele as well. But the number 9 position will be the most tricky position for the January transfer window. I think Osimhen has somewhat of a release clause. Gyökeres is available as well. We'll see what Paris Saint-Germain do. But the thing I love about all of this is, once again, proven right for the transfer window. Because Campos knows it. Luis Enrique knows it. Luis Enrique is just weird. He's just weird. There are a lot of players he doesn't want. Now it's even the price tag scares him. I don't know what's happened, man. It's cooked. We have 4 points after 12 games, with 3 of them being probably the easiest we would have. I don't know how tough Salzburg and Stuttgart will be away, but we've had easy games at the back and we're sitting on 4 points. So it's either that the Lucha tactics have to be improved, or we need to sign better players. Lucho doesn't want to do either. He doesn't want to adjust. He doesn't want to acknowledge that his tactics are holding us back. But he doesn't want to go and sign Gyökeres, who scored 63 goals in 66 games for Sporting Lisbon. I don't know, how are we supposed to improve then? You don't want to adjust the tactics, and you don't want to buy someone like Gyökeres. I don't understand it. I don't understand it from Luis Enrique. And everything with Kvaratskhelia, we'll come back to that in the summer. Obviously, recent reports from Gazzetta saying everything is still alive. Again, very predictable. We knew Paris Saint-Germain were going to go back for Kvaratskhelia, who at the moment, Napoli are trying to extend, but they're having big problems because Kvaratskhelia wants a release clause. He wants to join PSG. He's him. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I think Campos is a bit smart for going Gyökeres now in January, because if we do want Gyökeres, you go now. Because there will be so much more competition in the summer transfer window. I don't think any club wants to splash that much money in January for Gyökeres, but we could do it. We have the money. We don't have any problem. Gyökeres would join. He's currently the Champions League top scorer. So, yeah. Those are pretty much everything you need to know for the upcoming January transfer window. We'll obviously be updating you guys the closer we get to. But that's been it from my boy PSG. Luis Campos has to fix up. And as usual, allez, Paris.